Day 19, shoulders and biceps. Probably one of my least favorite days of the week because shoulder pain just gets in the way of lateral raises and actually training really hard. But I push through it because you got to do whatever it takes. I know if I have an injury, I should probably not do that, but I'm doing it. Anyways, this is shoulders first. So I'm starting off with presses this workout. Usually I start off with like a lateral raise. As you may or may not know, on my recent videos, I've talked about the fact that I do rear delts on back day to save time on this shoulder day so I can focus more on front and side delts. Speaking of which, I look absolutely tiny as hell in this shot right here. Just looks absolutely terrible for the upper body, but whatever. I'm just going to get by my body dysmorphia for now. But I start off with a machine overhead press, something a little bit different. I'm not using free weights here. I'm actually just using this machine that doesn't even converge. It still feels really good on my shoulders because I have that mind-muscle connection. As you can see, it looks like I'm meditating right now because I'm just connecting with the muscle that I'm trying to work. If you notice you can't feel a movement, really try and connect with it mentally because that actually does a lot. So here I do 4 sets. It's just a pressing movement. It gets the front delt, some of the side delt working. Good way to warm up and good way to just crush the shoulders entirely and try to put on that mass that we're looking for. But obviously, no shoulder day is complete without lateral raises. So I do a bunch of lateral raises today like I usually would. I think I do 9 sets just for the lateral head of the delt. We start off with just regular old dumbbell lateral raises. My body dysmorphia right now is just going crazy because of the way my arms look in this shot. I look like a twig. But bro, I just be comparing myself to like 30-year-old dudes on trend. It's fine. But I'm doing a bunch of lateral raises here, trying to really get huge. Really try to build the cap of the delt, which makes you look 3D, makes you look a lot better than other people. Helps you stand out on stage as well. I don't think I have very good genetics for side lateral delts, but obviously you can train them to a certain degree, which is what I'm doing here. I'm doing drop sets for pretty much every set. I do 3 sets, I think, of regular dumbbell lateral raises before moving on to this cable variation. I actually think I do 4 sets of lateral raises with dumbbells with the superset, or rather the drop set, from 30s down to 15s, all 4 sets. And then I do the typical unilateral cable lateral raise because I want to bring up any asymmetries that I may have in my physique. Like, for example, if my left delt is bigger than my right delt or vice versa, I'm trying to counteract that by doing the same amount of reps per side. Have the similar amount of time under tension. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% exact, but I'm trying to get the same number of reps and the same amount of fatigue on each side, so one side doesn't surpass the other. It's something you only really have to worry about once you get a little bit more into lifting. When you first start out, you don't have to really worry yourself about symmetry. You just got to focus on getting huge, eating a ton of food, and trying to get big. I'm really tempted to start bulking again right now because of the way I look. I'm not happy with the look. I look very small. I just don't like it. I know that I'm like the same size. I haven't actually shrunk any because my weight is pretty much the same. So anyways, we did, I think, 3 sets on this unilateral lateral raise. My mind is just completely messed up. I feel like the reason I'm so tired now mentally and physically in my workouts is because I need to take more rest days. I think in the month of August, I've taken 2 rest days and like that's it. So I think I need to take a little bit more rest days. I think all of summer I probably haven't taken any more than 5 rest days. We're talking like a month and a half at this point. So that's a lot of days that I'm going to the gym and training rigorously. Like you can see here, I'm going to failure on pretty much every set. Like literally every set is to failure or at least close to failure. And I'm doing drop sets for like 50% of them. So I'm not training lightly, I'm doing cardio, and I'm not eating that much, which just leads me to believe that I need more rest days. Recovery needs to be prioritized because if you can't recover, then the whole workout is just pointless. Anyways, moving on, we have a different lateral raise variation this time where I lie on this bench right here. I grab 20-pound dumbbells, which is absolutely nothing, and I try and pause at the top when I'm doing this exercise. So you'll see in a few of the sets I pause more than the others. But I'm trying to do at least a 1-second pause at the top. Really try and squeeze the delts together there, drive more blood into it. And I superset it with an exercise that a lot of people think is stupid, but I think they're stupid for thinking it's stupid. It's the upright row. If you execute this exercise properly, it is exceptionally good for developing your upper body muscles, not just your delts, not just your side delts. It works side, front, and posterior delts. It works the biceps and the forearms, and it works the traps. All of those muscles are involved in looking aesthetic and huge from the front. I'm just saying, I feel like the upright rows, highly underrated because for some reason people think it's going to mess up your shoulders. I don't buy that. I think upright rows are an excellent exercise and you should implement them into your workouts, especially on like a shoulder day, because my goodness, once you do like burnout sets with upright rows after doing like lateral raises, it just feels some different type of way. But regardless, that is 3 sets there, and I do posing in between the shoulder and the bicep portion of the workout just because I felt like the shoulder pump was pretty good today. You can see here that like I'm getting a bit leaner. You can see that my legs, my midsection, especially like my limbs, like my shoulders, biceps, they've gotten a lot leaner as well. You can see in the quarter turns, I'm starting to have some obliques showing up, which is great. Remember, we're going pretty slow in this cut. I'm only like 2.5 weeks in, so I haven't expected to lose that much fat. An area that's actually lost a good amount of fat, in my opinion, is my back. I didn't think my back held a lot of fat, but I guess I was just way fatter than I really thought I was back in the bulking days. So it's good to like trim down that fat and really see what's underneath, really see what my body looks like without the excess tissue there. Just see like the muscles for themselves, what part of the body needs development and why some parts look better than the others, where I need more detail, where I need more size and things like that. That's what bodybuilding is all about. There's a big difference between just going to the gym to lift versus going to the gym to bodybuild. So keep that in mind. I think my best shot to this day is probably the side chest. I also think the back double is pretty good if I can learn how to flex my hamstring properly. But anyways, moving back into the workout, let's talk about the bicep portion. So for biceps, I've noticed that they're a muscle that have actually come up a lot more than I thought recently. I looked at previous photos. Maybe it's just the way I'm posing them, but my biceps look a lot bigger and the peaks look a lot more pronounced. And I mean, I'm just doing simple bicep training here. I'm just training it really hard. It's one of those muscles, it's probably the only muscle on my body where I can do one set and feel like I've literally just torn my bicep because of how crazy the pump is. It's not even going to be a set that's like crazy to failure with 3 drop sets. It could literally just be a straight set like this one I'm doing here, and my biceps will just feel absolutely incinerated, like I can't even lift my arm because that's how crazy pumped they are. It's a great thing to have because it just means you're going to activate the biceps without even trying, and so you're going to grow huge biceps. I feel like the problem with my arms now are just the triceps. It's not even really the biceps. I wouldn't really consider it to be a very weak point at this point. But obviously, you can't really have too much bicep unless you're Nick Walker or Ronnie Coleman. So I'm going to keep training them just as hard and keep trying to get them absolutely massive to hopefully make up for the lack of tricep development. That's probably genetic. Like, it might be in my training, but I feel like I train my triceps ridiculously hard. They'll grow eventually, though. I'm just going to keep training them hard, stay consistent, and they will grow. Second exercise is the incline curl. I have not done this exercise in a while, so I thought it was appropriate to do it today. 30-pound dumbbells here, trying to get the squeeze and the stretch at the top, which is the 2 most beneficial portions of this movement and pretty much every other movement. Just for isolation exercises, I feel like it's kind of useless to go heavy and just swing the weight around because I personally won't really feel it that well, especially being on a cut, being on reduced carbohydrates and just feeling like crap for most of the day and kind of just feeling like really tired during the workouts because I take no rest days. But yeah, it feels pretty good. Going slow and controlled, squeezing at the top. This is a weight that I did like 6 months ago, but I'm just doing it a lot differently now, getting more reps than I did in the past. So it's still some type of progressive overload from then, especially considering the fact that I'm now in a deficit. Last bicep exercise of the workout is the iconic exercise that I always do. It seems like I always do it on a bicep day, but it's the unilateral cable curl. Gets a really good stretch. It's a different angle. It hits the biceps from a different angle. If you've never done this exercise, it'll probably get you sore the first day, but then after that, you're going to adjust to it, obviously. But it's a really good exercise. Even to this day, I do it in pretty much every bicep workout. Really gets a good squeeze, a good stretch at the bottom. Highly encourage it for anyone who wants to get humongous biceps, which is pretty much everyone watching this video. That is it for this shoulder and bicep day. Things are going pretty well, I can say. I had a refeed day yesterday, so I was a little bit fuller than usual. I had a little bit more energy, and the pump was a lot better than previous workouts. I still felt really tired, though. Probably means I need a rest day. Even like, you might have noticed my voice in this video. I'm just tired. I don't feel like recording, but you gotta do whatever it takes. So that's it for the workout. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned something, and I should see you tomorrow.